tobacco farm in Elkin, North Carolina. I'm not sure if there's a lot of farming in Greensboro. Haven't seen a lot, but Elkin's only 45 minutes away from here. And you go down a single road and there's farms on both sides. Recently, my family's had, like this season especially, every year with tobacco there's a thing called a quota. The government agencies set up what you need to turn in with the assistance they give you. So there's so many bushels of tobacco that you need to turn in every year. Well, because of demand, it's dropped. This year we saw a 50% loss, and we actually did good compared to some of the people. But what I want to kind of shed some light on is the government and the USDA helps farms, but there's a big difference in factory farms and the small family farms. The USDA provides $200 million tax dollars to factory farms. So yeah, there is a lot of government assistance for farms, but it's our money. It's the $200 million tax dollars for factory farms. Politically, the governors of these, even us, they regularly ask for factory farm bailouts, which is where most of this money comes from. This is a factory farm. This is a pork farm. You can see here that this is like a huge business, and the land and the irrigation systems are like totally whack. And if you see here, like those poor animals, so it's unhealthy for the environment, and we are an environmentally conscious society, especially this generation. So if you realize that there's a huge difference in this corporate farm, you start to understand that like farming, this is supposed to be good for, culture, it's supposed to be from the land, but it's actually a bad thing. And part of the bailout money is like pumped into factory farms. And there's a problem with this because they keep getting all this money and functioning like this and building these new buildings, but the demand is going down. Not just with tobacco, but like with other things too. This is a video.
The family farmer is sort of like a caretaker of their little piece of the world. So they want to produce something healthy, and they want the land that they produce it from to be healthy, and they want the water from their well to be drinkable. So they're caretakers. They're going to look after our land. If we lose the family farmer, we lose the caretakers of the land. If you want something done well, you go to somebody who does it beautifully. You go to a craftsman. If you want good food on your table, healthy food on your table to feed your family, you should go to someone who makes healthy food from healthy land. And that's who the family farmers are. As long as someone's...
Okay, and there's an organization called bleedingheart.org. It's actually like bleedingheartland.org. And they talk about how the pork farming especially is being, like, they're producing more than they ever have, and the demand is less than it's ever been. The USDA, which is the United States Department of Agriculture, issued this in 2009. It's called the Tobacco Transition Payment Program. My family actually went through this whole ordeal, and what it did is a transition payment program, so it gives you 10 years worth of money to get your farm into the free market, which means that the government will no longer help you, but they're going to give you a 10-year window and kind of push you out and give you some money to go out with you. And I understand that tobacco is not necessarily a good, it's not good for people to use it, but still it's a big part of North Carolina culture. This transition payment program, it actually hurts people like us, because it's a 10-year kind of help out, but then at the end of that, you're done, and you have to pay back part of the money, and it's a really high interest loan. And demand has gone way down, way down. Well, if you want to do something to help, I know it's hard hard because it's kind of a cultural, there's a lot of cultural difference. But if you've ever heard of Farm Aid, that's what Dave Matthews represents. It's called farmaid.org. You can donate. You can even just go to the concerts. They're all over the country. There's one huge one. But anything that you do to donate that and help. And our generation is like the only hope that small farms have because the government isn't helping. Thank you.